left is going to lap it up and eat it up, guys. I don't know what's happening with everyone, fans of football and guys who've been watching football all along. We are all fans. We all love the sport. Is there any reason that we should believe Southgate's coming to United? No, that's absurd. It's a dream. It's an infatuation. It's the way the media is trying to segregate and home in their agenda on Manchester United. Guys, you should even be thinking about this. I don't know about you, but this is one rubbish comment that I would like to forget as fast as I read it. It just does not make sense to me. The guy has no track record of performing well. He's killing England's hope as winning titles, at being their manager already. The dross that he would bring to United, I think there would be riots. And I'm not trying to profess that, but I'm telling you, I don't think the fan base is going to tolerate this sitting down. Big up to everyone joining me. It's your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. And you know what? It's Tuesday night, guys. I got the panel. Some guys are coming in late, but they're coming in nevertheless. And the guys are going to give their opinions. I hope you like it. We are waiting to hear your opinions as well. And DJ Superfly is already here. But you know what? Take this time, smash those likes and subscribe. And those of you watching on Twitter, share it around, give it a retweet, guys. You know what it is. It's your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. And it's the panel debate, Manchester United Views, evening debate. Big up to everyone coming in wherever you're watching from. Even if you're not watching the live, guys, don't forget, even in the non-live section, you could definitely leave your comments, leave a like, and give us your thoughts and your views. I hope you guys are here to enjoy the show. We got a pretty decent show planned for you all. We're going to watch, bits and clips of the Jim Ratcliffe interview. Some parts that I think might be more interesting, geared towards United fans, that you are going to be happy with it. And those of you that are here, you're in for a treat, guys. Let's get into comments. I'm going to bring my first panelist up, and it's our boy, my buddy, Admiral Drex. Big up to Drexy in the building. What's good, broski?
Yo. How you doing, people? Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? I hope you're fine.
I think they're fine, bro. I see DJ Superfly is already upset. I wonder who started that Southgate bullshit. Must have been a bit of Scouser. Probably, guys. You never know what's happening because you want to know something, Drex. I don't believe it for 1 minute. I think it's certainly absurd to think about it. And Yali, Statman, big up to you, my brother. How are you doing today? And if you have any time and you want to get into the stream, bro, just let me know. I'll drop the link for you, bro. Would like to hear your views on this as well. It's pretty crazy when you look at it. The first channel I saw with the Southgate talk was United Stand. They also had some nasty headlines today. Probably it's one of those things, man. And I'm gonna play some bits and clips of the interview that it was done on the Gerard podcast, the cycling guy. And I'm not too big of a fan of the cycling guy, but this interview happened, so we have to listen to it a bit. So I'll bring it on. I'll play you the clips. There's about 8 videos that I'm gonna play for you, and you guys could listen to it and determine what you will from it, because I'm pretty sure if you see the relaxed setting that Sir Jim was in, I'm pretty sure he was bantering in some moments and just answering questions, in his own character. I wouldn't take some of them too seriously, but others I would pay attention to, because you know what? It's not picking and choosing, but if you listen and you look at his demeanor and the way he speaks, you can tell what he's serious about and what he's actually, focused on. And the guy has a very good swagger. I have to say, I wasn't a fan of Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in. I was a fan of the full sale option. And when I say the full sale option, I mean whoever was buying the club outright immediately. One time, one deal, done. But as this is in front of us, he's already here, and some of the decisions he's made has been impressive for me. And I look forward to seeing the potential and what can become of those decisions. I just hope that the people that he's employing, they have the opportunity, to do their job to the best of their ability without someone hampering them down, or hand or leg tied behind their backs. Big up to you guys coming in. Let's get this video on the way. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's hear Sir Jim's comments. Guys, let's see what's going on right here as we hear from the horse's mouth himself.
It's quite an important element of the club, really. There's always been a bit of glamour associated with the club, hasn't there? You know, with the likes of the George Best, Bobby Charlton, Cantona, the King, Ferguson himself. There's always been glamour attached to that club, which is one of the reasons it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. And it's something we should never forget. It's an element of United that's, it's part of that brand, really.
Do you feel you've got to get it back to a certain extent?
Yeah, there needs to be, correct. Because it's been a bit thin on glamour in the last decade. Yep.
Guys, what are your thoughts on that first clip? Drexy, I'll start with you, my bro. Let me know what you're thinking.
Yo, it's just the man talking, right? Like I've watched a few, but I don't think I've watched this one. So
Are you there, bro?
yeah, I thought you were playing the clip. That's what I was just
Oh, no.
no, it's just the man talking. I know I've heard a lot about people have been a lot have been said about him talking and no action yet, right? But I just feel like it's all he's just a United. I feel like he's a United fan who he has claimed to be, right? We have no rights to discredit a United fan if they say they are one, right? And he's talking and he's saying things that we as fans, right, we've been saying for a while, right? He's so but if you play the clip, right, by the time you go through the total of the 8 clips you've got, you find out that a lot of the things he said and a lot of the things that he's going to be saying are things that we have been saying as United fans, right, in our own little way that he's just saying. So yeah, I'm happy he actually said what he said, right? It just goes to show that this guy, fine, like you said, a lot of us were hoping for a full sale, irrespective of who the person was, right? And yeah, I know a lot of people didn't want the Qataris or any state owned or something like that. Was I disappointed that it wasn't a full sale? Yes. Am I optimistic that this will work? Yes. Do I really believe it will work? Nobody believes anything until the things happens, right? So until you have, it's not a case of 1 + 1 = 2. It's a case of let's see what you start doing. We know you could talk, but let's see what you start doing. For me, I don't have a problem with what he's saying and what he said. I just when you go, there's a few other comment clip that you would go that I have a thing or two to say, a lot to say about some other things, especially when it comes to the Mbappe one and the standard and getting people into the fray. I actually have a lot to say when we get to that clip.
Big up. So let's go to the second clip. Let's not make it too long. I know the other guys are going to come in, but I'm pretty sure they're watching in the background. So let's get this second clip up and let's hear what he says in the second clip.
Who's the greatest ever player to have played for United, in your eyes?
Who's ever played for United?
Yeah.
Probably Ronaldo, I guess. I would think Cristiano Ronaldo, probably the best. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I remember Bobby Charlton a bit, but he was obviously the legend at Manchester United, I suppose, probably. I think once I asked Alex Ferguson who's the best player you've ever coached, and that was Ronaldo.
Was
I
it?
remember him saying Ronaldo, yeah. That's what I had dinner with. The first time I met him, actually, it was about 7 or 8 years ago, the League Managers Association dinner. But, George Best, I suppose, probably the most naturally gifted player I've ever seen play football.
Drexy.
The man went for. At one point, I thought he was gonna go talk about maybe Sir Bobby or the likes of George Best and et al. Right, but he went straight for Ronaldo. He tried to like go around, um, maybe he didn't want to come out as someone that is just a recent thing, right? As someone that is just a recent fan, just looking at more recent time than as to put in the because obviously Sir Jim is nearing, if not nearing 75 or is about 70 if I'm not mistaken. So he should have had a long time with the history of the club. So but saying that he did speak to Sir Alex, and Sir Alex said one of his best player that he's coached it's Ronaldo. It just kind of buttressed the point why he went with Ronaldo. For me, Ronaldo, but there are a few other names that I would have. For me, I love Scholes, man. Right, in the order of my players, right, in the order of the player, and it's gonna be weird. I would go with yeah, I would go. I'll start with. I've always loved what's his name. The goalkeeper. Peter Schmeichel. I've always when I was watching Peter Schmeichel back in the days, I was like, yo, it's not bad to become a goalkeeper, right? But when you see the likes of Poscos, you see the likes of Carrick, you're like, man, the beauty is actually in the midfield. Like, but I've had my own. If you ask me who's my best player or my greatest player of all time for United, right? I would probably I'll give you maybe scores first, then Schmeichel, then come down to Carrick. Ronaldo will not really be in my thing though. Ronaldo will just be, but for me it will be Paul Scholes. I like Ronaldo, don't get me wrong. He's the greatest of all time. But don't I'm just saying for my own personal choice,
I
I
ain't
would
saying
go with
nothing,
Paul
buddy. I
I would go
just
with Paul Scholes, then I would go with Schmeichel, then I'll come down to Carrick, then maybe Ronaldo. But United, don't get it wrong. United have had great, great, great players in that team from the years past. They've had play like you could even cast your mind back to Iwin. You could go back to Eric Cantona. You could even there's the Andy Cole. There's so a lot of big names, right? Have come through the United. So it's actually tough to pin one down. Like, when it's actually tough to pin one down. It's just that I find myself getting drawn to these players that I've mentioned a while ago, like the Scholes, the Carrick, and the Peter Schmeichel, right? So it's just, but
true, true,
looking at
true,
United, right? Oh man, you can't really pick one person out, man. You can't
true.
really pick one person out and say this is the guy or
The
that's the
guy.
guy.
I
No,
mean,
you can't. But
I know
everybody's
how
got
you
the
feel.
choice.
I know
Everybody's
how
got
I
the
feel.
choice. Yeah.
But you know what, Mr. Bond, my brother, how are you doing tonight? Big up to you. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts if you got
You,
happen to see that just now?
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I caught the last part of your conversation, but I think it's the comment. I think was it Fergie or Roy Keane that
Uh,
said Ronaldo was there.
Well, actually, it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's had an interview, right, with Gerard, the cycling
Oh
dude,
yeah,
English
yeah,
cycling
yeah, yeah.
champion. So
Okay.
he was asked the question, "Who's your favorite United player of all time? Who do you think is the best?" And he said Ronaldo. In most recent time, but he also mentioned that the one who had the most naturally gifted talent would have been George Best. He also talked about Bobby Charlton, with whom he said he didn't see that much of, but he saw a lot of
Yeah,
Ronaldo and George Best.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I think who's your favorite player? I mean, it could go Overton, it could be Nani, it could be anyone.
hmm,
But who is the greatest? Now this is gonna shake the table, and probably this is where you're gonna enjoy something about this. But first comment I'm gonna put out there is Ronaldo is not the greatest United player ever. If the question is reversed, let's be very precise. If you said who is the greatest player to ever wear a United shirt, that's Ronaldo. I think it's unquestionable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who is the greatest player? That means what they did in a United shirt. It's not Ronaldo. In fact, I'll go as far as saying Ronaldo. Hey, people in the comments, Ronaldo is not a United legend. Hey, hey. Okay, let me unpack that. I'll put like three categories. I'll say
Bond,
legend.
Bond. Before you
I'll say
unpack it, right?
great, and I'll say
Bond,
good.
before you
Ronaldo.
okay, it's not he can
Okay,
hear me.
yeah.
before
Before
you
you unpack
unpack
it,
Ronaldo,
I'm
let me
gonna
know
tell you
who's
this.
your greatest
I'm
player.
hearing you. Hearing you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that I agree with that statement you made and say in a United shirt, right? Ronaldo, but who's done? Who is he? Like a great? You know how you said something about is he the greatest player to ever played for United? I don't think so too. I agree with you. So go ahead and unpack the thing that the history
Oh,
books.
okay. All right. Fair, fair. So put three boxes. Yeah. So I'll put legend, then I'll put great, Then I'll put like good/fantastic players for the club. When we said we're talking about obviously just Dennis Law. You have the Keens, Scholes, Beckham, Giggs. This is modern legends anyway. That's the group of legends. When you say great players, Ronaldo is there. Right? Ronaldo is there. I say great. I'm thinking.
Rooney in that bracket as well.
I can't think of any, but let me move to the next category. Oh, Rooney, that's an interesting one. Rooney, Rooney is a hard one because, like,
Yeah,
if you
Rooney
have to
could be a
be real,
borderline.
right?
Rooney
You
could be a
say
borderline legend
like
and
EPL
yeah,
legacy.
yeah, between borderline, yeah, legend.
Yeah,
I'll
I
put
think
Rooney in the
Rooney's.
legend category. Yeah.
No, he shouldn't even. Yeah, yeah, he should be because like Rooney's. Come on, this guy. Only Alan Shearer has more EPL goals than he does, and a lot of people would like to put Harry Kane over Rooney, but that's not even true. Rooney's just a very strange one. Like he has this way of not appearing like he was great, but he was great. He definitely was great. And then in the good category, I'll put people like Berbatov, Park Ji-sung, Nani as well. That's the category. Now the original question is Ronaldo a legend? No, he's not. He's not. Why is he not a legend? For me, he didn't stay long enough. That's just the story. If he'd stayed even 2 more years, different story. And it's the same reason why, as much as my favorite player of all time probably is Van
Mr. Bond,
Nistelrooy, I
Mr. Bond,
cannot
can
put
you
Van
please
Nistelrooy
pass a
as a
drug
legend.
test?
Van Nistelrooy is a what?
Can you please go and take a drug test? There appears to be crack in your system. Maybe heroin. We're not sure. I'm not an expert on these type of matters, but very, very false. Very, very false information you're putting out there.
What part is false? What part is
He
false?
didn't stay
Let's
here. He
go one
joined
by
it.
one. What part is
He did
false?
right. He didn't stay here long enough. He joined in 2003, left in 2009, so he stayed here for 6 years of his career. He was the first Manchester United player in over 40, 50 years to win the
No,
Ballon
no,
d'Or for Manchester United. So he won a Ballon d'Or at United for the first time in nearly 50 years.
no,
He helped us win the league and the Champions League,
no.
but not a legend.
Okay,
Go on. Why is he not a legend?
Connor, let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Clarify, yeah, go for it.
In a club like Chelsea, Lampard is an easy legend. He's an easy legend. Legend.
Yeah.
You know why they're legends? Because the comparison is Danny Drinkwater. That's a comparison. Are United just too many exception players that what you end up using to separate them is things like appearances, number of trophies. That is why United is different from these. It's like someone comes and tells me, let me give like PSG is a good example. Cavani is a legend at PSG. Fine, he's I think all-time scorer. Mbappe was one of the two of them, but it doesn't take much to be
Mr. Bond,
a PSG legend.
Sorry, could I put
United is just
ask you a
different
question?
gravy.
Mr. Bond, can I ask
It's
you a question? Sorry. You brought up the point of
yeah.
Ronaldo. Ronaldo hadn't stayed at the club long enough. Is that what you said? I just want to make sure I'm getting my facts right. You said
Yes.
yeah. So
And you said 2003 to 9.
yeah, but Ruud van Nistelrooy joined in 2001 and left in 2006. That's only 5 years. Ronaldo stayed for longer.
And he is not a legend.
You said he was a minute ago.
Rudy is not a legend. He's one of
You
my
said he-
favorite players of all
But you said
time.
he was a legend.
Oh no, I didn't. I
Connor,
said he was
Connor, he
in the
didn't say
category
Connor,
below
he said
legend.
that's why he said
No.
Ruud van
No.
Nistelrooy is not a legend for him because he didn't stay.
I
as
thought
long
he said he
as-
was in the category.
No,
actually,
no,
I
he
misheard that
didn't
one.
put him in the category.
And he is and he is my favorite player of all time.
Ooh,
But I
Ruud.
can't put him there. I have to be real here. But yeah, he's my favorite player of all time, but I can't call him a legend because he didn't. If you say United Champions League legend, he probably is. He's our highest goal scorer in Champions League, but all time, I can't do that. And you know I can't do that because ahead of him is Dennis Law, ahead of Wayne Rooney. And that's the thing about United. It's a good front. We have too many players who are exceptional. Drek said his favorite is Schmeichel. Mine is Van der Sar. I think Van der Sar versus Schmeichel, in my opinion, technically as footballers, Van der Sar was ahead of Schmeichel. I think in terms of what he achieved, like clean sheet record, the European record for minutes without conceding, and he also won the Champions League as well. He won multiple leagues. For me, it's Van der Sar. But the point is, unlike a club like Chelsea, where everyone says it's Petr Cech, that's the Chelsea situation. United, it's just too many great players, and that's why you can't just say, "Oh, Ronaldo." It's not that easy. It's just not that easy. You have to be real. It's why United is one of those teams where
Who's done
if
more
I
for
say
Manchester United than Cristiano Ronaldo?
no, what?
Who has done more for Manchester United than Cristiano Ronaldo?
Okay, list Paul Scholes,
Paul Scholes,
Ryan Giggs, David Beckham.
David Beckham.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Roy Keane. Everyone in the '99 squad who was there for multiple trophy winning
Gary Neville.
and played frequently, not just like Gary Neville, for example, Dennis Irwin, and then you then go back to the older generations. Look, United, we can easily, comfortably field like two teams of legends. Some might say it's Bruce and Pallister. Some might say it's Vidic and Ferdinand. That's the United problem. And as much as Carrick is my second favorite player of all time, I can't even put him in that list. Carrick will be in the B team of legends. It's just a United problem.
Of all time, Carrick.
No,
Yeah,
right.
I love Michael Carrick.
Mark,
Hold
understand
on,
what
Let me pause this for a while. I wanna get through the videos because I want to hear Connor's reaction to this next video as well. Your reaction as well, Mr. Bon and Drex. And then I have 5 more videos, and then we could open up this, finish off this discussion because I like this discussion where it's going, Mr. Bon. So just hold it there, right? And we'll bring this video up here, and let's hear this second question because I think you all might be interested in this bit.
Who's first on your hit list then? Bellingham, Jude Bellingham. He'd be good, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, no, he's a great footballer. But I mean,
no chance. So now is there really? But
well, I think it's not where our focus is. The solution isn't spending a lot of money on a couple of great players. That's not going to. I mean, they've done that. If you look at the last 10 years, they have spent a lot of money on a couple of great players. So the first thing we need to do is get the right people in the right boxes who are managing and organising the club, and make sure that we get recruitment right. It's such a vital part of running a football club today is getting recruitment right.
Who's first on your hit list then?
Right. So you hear Sir Jim was asked a question there about who's the first player on his hit list. The guy suggested Bellingham. He's like, that's not the type of player we're going for because of the cost. We want to develop. Basically, what he's saying is he want to develop the next Bellingham or whatever, the case or whatnot.
Yeah, I want to sort of add a point to that, like with the way he said, with what he said about us not going after the next big player, like not going after big players, but to make our own big players. When you look at what we did when we went for Di Maria, when we went to sign Di Maria, he played like 36 games, got 12 goals and assists, and then he left the next season or the season after. We don't need to go and spend big on big players when we can produce our own, which we've been seen to do, and we can also do proper scouting and buy the next big player before they're big. Like, there's no point in going out. Say you own a car factory and you can produce some of the fastest cars in the world. There's no point in going out and buying a Ferrari when you can get your own at home. You can make your own. Like, there's no need. And I feel like that's what Ratcliffe's idea for United is, to become a homegrown talent club again. Sure, go out into the market and buy players when you need them, but also have the ability to grow your own talent.
100%.
It's because, Bellingham will cost 180 million plus. We can get half the team. So going Bellingham type of talent is what you do 2-3 seasons into a finished team.
Can I say something? Yeah.
Sure.
So when I feel like when this man, I have given him a few sticks also when they think about putting the Manchester back into Manchester United, right? I was like, yo, is this guy gonna go the British route? But recently, I've been thinking about it. Like when these guys say homegrown, it doesn't necessarily mean all British core. You could actually go get players that are maybe 16, like the way we did with Ganacho, the way we got him from when he was young, got him from was he Spain,
La
and
Masia.
brought him in, yeah, and brought him into the academy, and 2 3
Atletico.
years
Athletic.
was
My
it?
bad, Atletico.
Oh, was it
Atletico
okay?
It
Madrid,
was
yeah.
Atletico,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we could now we could class on like Ganacho homegrown because it came through the academy, right? So I feel like so most of the time when we hear homegrown, a lot of folks actually thinks maybe he's looking at the British core. I've fallen for that as well in the past, but I'm saying now I'm beginning to think about it like, yo, it could just be our is going to improve the scouting network where they go, like he said in the video, get the next Bellingham or get the next Mbappe, right? And bring them in early such that they could actually come from the youth setup and it ends up being an homegrown thing.
See, that's what I feel like United have been trying to do with our academy as well. Because, like, when you noticed in the summer with our academy, we were letting quite a few academy players go for cheap with buyback clauses on, and I feel like it's because we wanted to get rid of some academy players that were either not at United standard or we couldn't give them enough playing time, and we also needed to not free up space, but like create more space in our youth team so that way they're able to actually play.
Big up
Like,
Luan.
I feel like United's youth setup is going to be
Yeah,
the focus.
yeah. Can I? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Mr. Bond?
The floor's
Yeah,
yours.
just to chip in. I think it's two or three things. Yeah, sorry. I think it's two or three things. The first thing is one, there is the FFP regulation there. You need a certain number of players. It's a business model. That's the thing. Second thing is, again, it is a business model in the sense that it makes a lot of economic sense to buy cheap and that's the business model Chelsea have been running for years. Chelsea with Roman Abramovich, Marina Granovskaya, Michael Manolo, that's what they were doing. If you remember, there's a time where when Chelsea just had so many people, so that's what they do. They farm them out and they get experience. It makes sense if you buy someone for 250K, and even if you sell them for just 5 million, that's a good profit there. So that's the second thing. The third thing is me personally as a fan, I am looking forward to this new business model because we've tried the whole thing with buying players expensive. It just didn't work. So you might as well try this. And I think what really excites me is do you remember that excitement when we got Javier Hernandez? And everyone is like, who is this Chicharito guy? And then it turned out to be really good. I love that excitement of just getting some random players like, who is this? Oh, his name is N'Golo Kante. Funny name. Oh, it turns out to be really Caicedo. That I'm really, really looking forward to that. And the last thing is when we run business this way, you don't have that situation where not everyone is a Bellingham. Bellingham is a mentality monster, and that's one of the issues we've had in our team. Bellingham can comfortably carry his price tag. That's just who
what I
he
feel
is.
like Kobe
Sancho
Mane-
couldn't do it.
I feel like
Di
Kobe
Maria
Mane
couldn't do
can.
it.
Like Kobe Mainoo's a homegrown talent, but I feel like he can
I
carry
think
this
he
sort of
can, but
mentality. Like, because when you look at Kobe Mainoo, like,
yeah,
oh,
I think he can. But
let me send you this picture. Stick the picture up. I'm going to send it to you quickly. When you look at this picture here of Kobe Mainoo. Oh wait, no, I put it in it's in the group chat. Mark.
Cool.
It's just a picture of Kobe and Rashid I posted in that. When you look at that picture, I feel like it speaks 1,000 words about the sort of player Kobe is. When you look at it, it just sort of shows like not Rashford's astonishment that Kobe's there, but it's just it just looks like Rashford's astonished to see Kobe in the England first team himself, and Kobe looks calm and cool and collected. Like this Saturday, England are going to be playing. I want to see Rashford when England play on not Rashford, Kobe when England play on Saturday. Right. Yeah,
I'll bring it up for you then. No, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, when you see the picture,
But
you understand what I'm talking about. because Rashford in my mind, no, Kobe in my mind is a mentality monster. Like, he might not show it on the pitch, he might just look calm all the time. It's because that's the type of player he is at 18. We have to remember he's 18. Like, he was born in 2005. Like, DP 2005 was the Xbox 3. Like, I'm pretty sure the Xbox 360 is older than Kobe Maynard. Like, that's how young he is. And he's still one of the best players in the England setup.
Yeah, it
Like, if you look at
is
Rashford,
actually it's a nice picture.
like, he looks
You know, that's
astonishing.
the thing. One of the other things I know about Ten Hag, and obviously you guys know, yeah, you guys know I've been quite critical of Ten Hag, but in his defense, one thing I know he's done right for the team is that all the players he's bought a certain profile of players when it comes to mentality. Everyone knows the sort of mentality Martinez has. Malacia, Malacia is a problem child. He doesn't take nonsense from anyone. Even Anthony is to a degree a mentality monster. He's just not good. And yeah, but when you compare that to what we had before,
No, go on.
what I like about Anthony, yeah, is what I mean by mentality is that he has that thing where if he makes the same mistake over and over again, he'll keep trying. He's very different from Sancho. Sancho needs to be babied, be put in a box with tissue paper. He's that sort of guy. And I think that's kind of the thing that Ten Hag is looking. Obviously, Casemiro is a mentality monster as well, but there's still that thing in the team where yeah, that's what he's done. That's what I'm saying, and that's one of the reasons why I think he likes. Yeah, I think it's one of the things that's what. Sorry, is there a bit of an echo? Sorry, lag.
No. You should.
I think it might be. I think when I'm speaking, you're speaking like we're speaking, but you're hearing me a
Oh,
few
okay.
seconds after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, I was just saying that.
Go on,
Yeah,
go on. You finish.
that's credit to Ten Hag. That's one of the things he's trying to fix within the team, and we still have that problem from some of the players who were there before, and they might be stinking up the place. I'm just gonna say something again. I've given Ten Hag a lot of grief, especially last time I was here. We talked about the whole thing with the midfield being very empty, and I know we've seen that picture going around where Soboslai is like just running through, and there is no midfield at all. I read something from one of these journalists. I think it was Rob Dawson. That's where he was, but he said he was watching Ten Hag at and during that situation. What happened was that we had a corner kick, and everyone is upfield. Yeah, everyone's upfield, and then Ten Hag was telling the defenders to press high, but instead of pressing high, some of them went back behind the halfway line, and that's why that huge chasm was there. And he was screaming at them, and then he couldn't do it. Then he put his hands in his head. So to a degree, I understand that there is a huge player issue. There really is a huge player still, and I think when we get the right players, we'll fix. But again, I know this is a bit off topic. Back to what I said earlier about Ten Hag and tactics. His fallback is I'm going man for man across the pitch, and that's sort of what he did against.
On mentality.
Yeah.
The mentality point you were bringing up, I feel like Eric's improved certain players' mentality as well. Because when we look at Rashford's mentality, he was under Ole. I feel like good, but lacked the best mentality possible. And then when you watch him under, who was he playing under? Under Ragnick, just didn't look interesting. Now under Ten Hag, last season, his best season, he looked interested, looked engaged, it looks like he wanted to play every minute he could. This season, he admits it himself, it's not been a good season for him, but he still looks interested, he still looks like he wants to play. And he might go out on a piss every now and again, that isn't the best, but he still scores in the match after it. And I feel like we also need to look at when we were a Champions League game a couple of seasons ago against Atalanta, he got through on goal and he let a defender catch up to him and take him down because he was taking too long on his chances. He was just asleep on the ball. He also then went on to just miss a couple more chances in that same match, and then he got his goal eventually. Rashford last in the Liverpool match, he missed 2 chances, then he got his goal. In the other game, it was like 5 chances he missed, 5 clear-cut chances. That game, he only missed 2 chances, then he got his goal. I feel like in previous seasons,
Rev, I'm going to disagree. I wonder.
Before you disagree, from one mentality monster,
I
let's just hear this clip about our next mentality monster that a lot of fans have been talking about. Maybe not just Manchester United fans, but fans of football. Let's just hear this clip and we'll keep going from there.
Can I hear the audio on it? Well, I can't. Can anyone else hear the audio?
You hearing it?
Nah, can't hear any audio.
Oh, 1 sec.
Or the next Roy Keane.
United sign Mbappe or Ineos sign Pogacar?
What I would rather do, I'd rather find the next Mbappe rather than spend a fortune just trying to buy success from. It's not, it's not that clever, is it, buying Mbappe in a way? And anyone could figure that one out. But what's much more challenging is to find the next Mbappe or the next.
So you guys hear that? My bad for playing the clip. Big up to you, Shay. Hope you're doing well.
Good. Remember, hit that like button, people. Subscribe. Get Mark to 200 subscribers.
Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Mr. Bond, let's start with you, bro. What are your thoughts on that comment?
No, it's 100% agree. Well, we need to put a fine balance on that. Okay, so I'll say 90% agree. Why am I saying this? I think it makes sense to buy young and train them up. It depends on where we are in evolution. We might get to a certain age where you need a centerpiece. The way I know the Van Persie thing is a bit different because it's not like the team was young or anything, but the same mindset where you might just need one centerpiece and then you splurge on that one position. But the rest of the team, I think we should just build it. And the truth is, I hope he's not. Again, I like what he said, but I hope he's not trying to, give us the cheap way out. Because if you is his point that we don't buy expensive players or we want to buy young players? Because a player can be young and expensive. Point being, someone like Camavinga, for instance, is he trying to say that if Camavinga is up for sale, but the price was like 10 million, then you say no?
How
Is
much
he
million is
trying
it?
to say that you rather find someone who is age? No, I'm just making, if he comes up for sale for 110,
I
so
wouldn't
is
buy
he
him.
trying to say that he will go and find someone of the same age? Yeah, I get that, but if we were just one Camavinga away from dominating in Europe or something like that, then you might as well go. So I think it depends on the situation. The same way Arsenal, I mean, doing the
I
same thing
feel
we are doing, and then they splurge on this. And let's not lie to ourselves; it's been for them, right? So I think that it comes a time where, okay, everything else is pretty much set. Give an example. Everyone knows also that Arsenal lack a good striker. If Arsenal dipped into the market and got like a Lautaro Martinez or Osimhen, like that is completing their team right there. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Or would you rather, if you're Arsenal, you are this close, you rather
Bro,
say, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's just go find this 18-year-old in the academy. It's like, no, why would you do that?
we
So
will
yes,
come.
me too.
We coming back to that comment about Laturo Martinez. I writing
I
it down. That one and the
I
next
just
guy you
have to.
mentioned, Osimhen. Drex will tell you about him afterwards, right? Because we have 4 more videos to go. Drex, any quick thoughts on this comment on Mbappe?
Yo, on the one thing Bond was saying right there, right? I don't feel like the analogy Bond was trying to draw right there about Arsenal or like a player away from dominating. The man is talking about reality. We are not a player away, or we are not in that state yet. But I get what Bond is saying as to maybe if we get there, is he gonna take the cheaper route? I don't think so. I feel like what he's saying, which is the basics, and which all everybody on this panel, a lot of United fans, even the ones that some people tend to call delusional and the rest, everybody has been saying the same thing. Get sporting people in place, and let's take it up from there. And that's everything I got from this video. Get sporting people in place, check all the box, let them do their thing. Are we gonna get all the recruitment right? No. But are we going to be running the club properly? Yes. That's all I care about.
Big up. Connor, I hear you had something to say just now.
The thought of United right now, I'm just thinking about it. I don't think we're that far behind Arsenal in challenging for a league title.
Okay.
No, like, the idea that we're only one player off, we're not. We're a couple players off. But I don't think we're that far off. I think we're one midfielder, one striker, and one fullback off from getting into a good enough position to challenge effectively. Not win, not go all the way and win maybe, but
And centre-backs.
challenge.
Centre-back.
Yeah, centre-backs as well, but I feel like other priorities are going to be at the top of that list before a centre-back.
Facts.
But, right, when you look at it right now, we've got Marcus Rashford off the left. We've got Højlund through the middle, Garnacho off the right. That front three attack is deadly. You've got Dallo at right back and Wan-Bissaka, who could be a good enough cover in my mind, if we don't replace him. They'll get a new right back in. But we definitely need a new left back because we've not had a left back all season apart from when Reguilon was fit. And even then we got rid of him for stupid reasons. But say we fill in the left back spot, we fill in a new midfielder where first coverage in like a defensive minded set because Casemiro's getting old. And then we were to get a backup striker. I feel like we won't be that far off the league title because we're not lacking depth. We are lacking depth, sorry. We're just lacking. We're lacking depth and we're also lacking consistency. If we get consistency going, we've saw that team we did against Liverpool. They're top of the Premier League. We've been inconsistent all season. If we can be consistent, I don't see anything stopping us.
True.
I'm not sure what anyone else thinks, but yeah, I'm just started thinking about Arsenal, thinking they're shit, but we're not that far off them.
But I mean, I think Arsenal has been pretty good this season, but I would admit they were very consistent and they got a lot of things going their way. And things happen when you're playing positively and you have a positive attitude and outlook on anything. Positive things tend to follow. I think Arsenal have built their team over the last 4 seasons to get to where they are today. And still, they're not that far ahead of Manchester United. Shay's going to come and talk about Arsenal after we finish these clips,
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I still think, at the end of the day, we have our way to go. We have a lot of issues. And, as I saying that, I just want to play this other really quick, because, I have a few to get in. And the last set, I'm going to play them in pairs because they kind of tie into each other. So that way we'll keep the topic moving faster. That way it will be that stressful. So we could get it over with. All right, guys. So let me just bring this one here because I kind of like this clip, to be fair. And I think this spoke a lot about where United is at and what we have to offer and the reality of what's going on with Manchester United right now.
You have to believe with Manchester United that if we get all the details right, if we get all the right people in the right boxes doing the right things with the right, with that sporting elite environment where, it's driven, it's intense. You've got a real sort of competitive atmosphere, but underneath all that, it's sort of supportive and you've got nice, you've got people who are competitive and intense, but at the end of the day, they're good people.
I'm not hearing anything.
And you feel comfortable going there every day.
What? You're not hearing it, bro?
I'm not hearing anything. Are you playing a video? No.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Whoa. You want to jump in and jump back out, bro?
Okay, it's all right.
I think it's because he's on the phone, I believe. I don't know. I might be wrong, but...
Because they're there 5-6 days a week for, virtually sort of 45 weeks a year. That if you get all these things right, the results will drop out the bottom. I mean, all those things are not right at Manchester United today, as we've said sort of very clearly. It's the same sort of challenge at Manchester United, but it's not a light switch at Manchester United. It's a much longer road to travel because there's so many aspects of.
I'm going to let you play one more time so Mr. Bond could hear it if he does.
You have to believe with Manchester United that if we get all the details right, if we get all the right people in the right boxes doing the right things with the
It's sorry, it's not
wiser,
working.
you know,
It's alright. I
that
probably
right-
heard the clip already.
that
You just tell me which one
sporting
it is.
elite
I can't-
Okay,
it's not
environment
working.
where,
I'll go to the next clip
you know,
because
it's, you know,
I
it's
want to
driven.
play
It's
the next clip before we all speak as well. So let's just switch to this clip.
I think the future of football it's not going to be you just go to the football match and then you leave and you go home. Or, you know, where we are today at Old Trafford is quite a few people leave early because the transportation system can't cope with the rush when you leave, you know. So it's just to go there, then leave, because there's nothing else to do in and around Old Trafford. And the future, which they do recognise, you know, at the Bernabeu and Nou Camp, is that it's more of, you know, you provide more entertainment. It's more of a campus, you know, so you can go and have a bite to eat. You can watch something on the screens. You can do a bit of shopping. You know, there's a museum, all those types of things, you know. So then you keep the fans there for a longer period of time. You don't have the same transportation issues because it's not such a peak issue. And also, you know, if you one of the new issues in football is this thing called FFP, financial fair play, where, you know, you have to live within your means. So, you know, the more means you've got, the better you can live in a way. So if you can get people, instead of, you know, spending £2 on a burger at half time, they stay there for a couple of hours and they spend 15 quid, then, you know, that's good for us. A win-win, isn't it?
Hang on. Pause that.
The fans benefit from that because there's stuff to...
Pause that. £2 for a burger, half time. Ah, £2. It's nearly 7. 7, not 2.
He was just saying. He was just
No,
saying.
no.
Connor, like when he said £2, I was like, it's like
2
7
quid?
or 8.
You
in my
could tell the
opinion.
man
it's not.
hasn't. You could tell the man hasn't bought burger at Old Trafford in a while. So
Inside Old Trafford, they don't do burgers. They do pies and hot dogs, and the hot dogs I think are £4.95, and the pies are about £4.75. So it's nearly a fiver for a pie and a burger.
Actually, he's right. Connor is right about that. Like, I mean, you know what it is,
but you
guys.
could tell
Like,
this guy. When was the last time this guy went in as a fan? That's outside the director's box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's outside the VVIPs
But
and
you
the
know-
VIPs. When was the last time he did it?
Nah, yeah.
Remember, when was the last time? So the last time he probably gone there as a fan outside these settings might be they were selling burger for £2 or something like that. I don't know. I don't live in the UK, so I'm just saying maybe from my from what I'm listening to him is like, when was the last time he did that?
Yeah, I get that, but
You
I
understand?
just have to make the point of he's
But anyway, he's promised me a ride at the Mont Ventoux.
Yeah.
So
he's coming in to like manage United, like and look after us.
Did say
I've
that,
got that
didn't
on
That
my
guy
I've
for
got that
the
on my
future.
list.
But
The Mont Ventoux.
And this one just here, we can see it from here, but the last stage of the tour goes up to La Turbie. We said we'd do that as well.
guys,
At some point.
So you can either have a ride with Geraint,
Yeah.
or you can have a kickabout with Bruno
I'm hearing
Fernandes.
this in
Oh,
my
definitely a
ears.
ride with Geraint.
All right,
No,
guys, I'm gonna just play
yeah,
this clip.
it would be too
and
embarrassing
let's see what,
kicking a
let's see
football.
what's going on here.
It needs to have a stadium that's befitting, you know, the club and the brand, and that might have been the case 20 years ago, but it isn't today. I mean, we can refurbish the ground, and we'll do a really nice job of that. It would be a fantastic stadium, and that would cost about £1 billion to do that, and that the club can shoulder that burden. But you have got this opportunity if you choose to build a completely new ground, because we've got enough space to build a completely new ground, and then you could. If you built a completely new ground, it would absolutely be state of the art, world class, 90,000 or maybe even 100,000, and that then provides a platform for some of the big competitions in the north of England. Football is just as important in the north as it is in the south, arguably more so, and the people in the north pay their taxes. So why do we have Wembley in the south? Why do we have Twickenham in the south? Why do we have Wimbledon in the south? Why do we have the Olympic Village in the south? Why do we have the O2 Concert Arena in the south? And what have we got in the north? You know, and what's all this sort of levelling up stuff and, you know, the great Northern Powerhouse? I mean, there's great words, but what's actually been done?
Matt, can I just quickly make a point of what you were saying about having the food trucks outside? I've gone to a food truck outside Old Trafford, and there was one run by Scousers. Now, if I feel like he wants to really do the best for Manchester United, he should not allow Scousers to be outside Old Trafford selling food. personally, that's just a personal opinion of mine. They shouldn't be allowed to be outside Old Trafford selling food, making Manchester-run businesses only.
I have to say, I'll be honest with you. Don't kill me here, guys, but I think I bought a burger from that Scouser truck. And the burger was slapping. I'll just be honest. That burger was slapping. So you know what? Maybe not. Might not share that view, but at the end of the day, you know what? It's a view, and I think it's positive. I want to ask you guys a lot of questions now. So like, I'll go and play all the videos. I just have one more after this one, but this one is the real video I wanted you all to.
If you could bring one player in their prime into the team now, so like a Keane, I'd choose Keane. He's just
you mean into that Manchester United
into
team
the
today?
team today? Yeah,
I think Paul Scholes I'd bring in. Yeah, because I think that's the player that they're sort of most missing. You know, they've got a couple of players that, I mean, they're not Roy Keane, but you know, Casemiro and Mainu, they're sort of quite defensive midfielders. You know,
I could do a Scholes job for you.
Yeah.
You got the engine. I'm not sure you got a skill set.
Cycling contract up next year.
Don't you remember Usain Bolt when he wanted to become a footballer? What happened?
Oh yeah,
it didn't go well, did it?
No,
he went down to Australia. I think.
But that's Bolt. I'm Garrett Thomas. Mate.
Mark.
Yo.
Mark, I have to drop for some minutes. I need to go do some runs. I'll be back. But before I leave, can I just make a comment about this clip?
Sure.
Right, the clip we just watched. I love to read comments on social media posts, and every comment I read was sort of taking this to be some sort of slight on Bruno Fernandes. The story was that Sir Jim is looking for someone who can hold the ball. I don't think that's what he's talking about. It's not even close. He was saying.
Are you there, bro?
The Glazers got him.
I think the Glazers just got him. He got sniped, guys. Oh, yeah, he's back. Bond.
No, I'm here. I think what he's saying is that we need someone to dictate play. That's all. Exactly. And that's what we're missing. And that's the reason why Bruno has to drop deep to get the ball, because no one is there to supply the ball. And I really think if we get the right player this summer, just one position, just there, it will be a really different situation next season. But I'll come back. I need to know. So thanks, guys.
No worries, bro. If I think we might be on for another like probably 20 minutes at most. So if you're back in time, you'll close the show, my brother. Don't worry about it. Big up for coming on though, bro. Yeah.
Smash those like.
Guys, before we go into to talk about that clip, right? Save the energy. I'm gonna play the last two clips, because my honest opinion about that is that if he was to get a Paul Scholes type player, I actually think Casemiro would be the player that would be sitting out matches, not Bruno, because Paul Scholes never really played in the 10. He usually played that kind of deep 8 box to box kind of role. So
pass. Like in my mind, you're always remembered for the thing you were best at, not the things that you could do. It's like when you look at Xavi and Iniesta, they're always remembered for their great passing, Xavi's great vision, Iniesta's ability to carry the ball. But you can do other things. It's not just that one thing that they can do. It's just they're remembered for that one thing. They're always remembered for this and remembered for that. No, he could do more than just two. It's a bit like Colby. Colby's not got the passing range of Paul Scholes, but Colby can still carry the ball and pass the ball forward. Bruno can defend somewhat, like that comment says. Bruno is a defender now. Somehow Bruno can defend. We can put him at centre back. No, but Paul Scholes could carry the ball and also pass the ball, but he could also defend. Now, you might not think Paul Scholes was a great defensive midfielder because he wasn't really a defensive midfielder, but he also had to do defensive duties, as any midfielder does.
100%.
Like, say someone hit him a bit too hard in a tackle, he had to go and hit them even harder. Say someone laughed at Roy Keane on the floor, he had to go snap their ankles. Or knee, sorry. Not ankles, knee. But no, it's the idea that we're not going to... that Scholes would drop Bruno is stupid, because he wouldn't. He'd slot in next to Kobe or Casemiro, because he does more than just pass. His passing will be more greatly needed, but what's it called? Oh, that Southgate, that Daily Mirror article about Southgate.
Box. We had to discuss.
Have
We're gonna discuss that just now. I'm gonna play 2 more videos for you guys. and then we're gonna just finish off the discussion. But you just had to see these clips, bro.
So with this season, then obviously United, I think it's fair to say, unlikely to win the league. Who would you like to see win it?
I hate them all. Well, you got Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal, haven't you? I mean, well, no, I don't know. No, they're all the enemy. No, I couldn't possibly choose one.
It's going to be Arsenal, Tom.
You think so?
No, I hope so, but
It'd be good for Arteta, actually. I think yeah, it would be good for him because he's done really well there, and Arsenal have been patient with him.
Yeah.
Right. And the last clip that I want to play for you guys before we talk about everything is more of a banterous clip, fair game at Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but it also shows, and over all the clips, if it's one thing I have to say and be honest about, is I kind of find myself thinking that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has quite an interesting football IQ, and he has a good taste for footballers. And I feel like a lot of people don't listen to what he's saying, but they're looking for the banter in what he's saying. So here, this last bit, and we'll discuss.
No, of course. Yeah. It would be too embarrassing kicking a football around with Bruno. It's much more difficult kicking a football around than getting on a bike, actually. And anyway, he's promised me a ride at the Mont Ventoux.
Yeah,
So
we did say
I've got that on my list.
Yeah.
The Mont Ventoux.
And this one just here, we can see it from here, but the last stage of the tour goes up to La Turbie. We said we'd do that as well at some point.
So you can either have a ride with Geraint,
Yeah.
or you can have a kickabout with Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, definitely a ride with Geraint. No, of course. Yeah. It would be too embarrassing kicking a football around with Bruno. It's much more difficult kicking a football around than getting on a bike.
Guys, we have to discuss. Furthermore, Yali, I agree with you. Southgate will not be the next United manager. I don't think the North can handle the riots that will take place if this was ever announced to Manchester United.
No. It's from the Daily Mail, right? That article. Let's keep in mind what articles the Daily Mail's done. They've done an article when Onana dropped his keys outside of his car. They did an article when Eric Ten Hag went for a haircut. They did an article when Eric Ten Hag went to go buy some bed sheets. They've done articles on everything and anything. They probably would do an article on Colby Mainu if he accidentally went out and bought toilet roll. Like, genuinely. It's probably to wipe off some Scouser's spit that was on the floor, but he might have stepped in. It's funny, the idea that, Daily Mirror or Daily Mail are being accredited as being this great source. Who's their source? Their source is just any sort of article that they can put out to get clicks. It's like they are a clickbait news source at this point. Like, I don't see what else they are. Like, they put boring articles out about Southgate to be the next England manager. Who's their source? Is it a high-ranking Manchester United board member? No. Is it Sir Jim Ratcliffe? No. Is it Southgate? No. Who is it? Have Manchester United said they're getting rid of their manager at the end of the season? No. So where's this source come from? No, it's from the fact of United are the biggest club in the world and we need to get clicks. That's all it's come down to at the end of the day.
I think I have two theories touching that Southgate thing, right? But before I go into that, I want to just respond to the video where it was asked, who does he think he should win it? Note how he didn't answer that question. He never said Arsenal, right? It was Geraint that said, maybe he hoped Arsenal wins it, and he was like, that would be good. He just said that would be good because I see a lot of people on Twitter like, he's acknowledging Arteta. He liked, I'm like, yo, man, he did not. He just said, the other guy said Arteta he hopes Arteta, is it Geraint is his name? Said he hopes Arteta wins it. Then Sajin was like, yeah, that would be good for Arteta. At least they've been patient with him, right? He never said, I wanted Arsenal to win it. So I just wanted to let that out. The thing with Sir James is he's got the United. I think he's listened to a lot of us, or he actually watches the game, so he knows where the problem lies at United. He understands where the problem is at United. And I'm so excited that he's saying all of this, right? I'm so excited he's saying the thing with the stadium, right? I'm like, that's something I know a lot of fans will not agree with. We want Old Trafford to remain and all of that, but building something that could actually, he made mention of the FFP that you have to spend within your means. So how about we just increase our means? How about we just try to get more revenue in such that we could spend more?
Now, I have
So
a point to add about the new stadium.
so for me, the new stadium, I know it's gonna be a debate between some fans and the others, right? But I feel like getting a new stadium, 90,000 capacity, with what he's planning to do in terms of not just football games and everybody go back home, at least some sort of entertainment afterwards, or even if there are no football, like they have it in Tottenham, right? Where you could actually have shows in there to generate more revenue for the club. I wouldn't object to it as long as because I know they'll be breaking down some of those structures around Old Trafford, right? As long as the people around there get compensated and there's some sort of agreement within themselves and the government to actually get the community people, like people, members of the community on board some type of way in terms of the betterment of their lives and all of that, right? I know a lot of jobs will be created and what's not, but for me, building a new stadium, 90,000 capacity, something like what he's having at the back of his head, the image he has, right? If he puts that down, that should be, a lot of United fans would see it and just be like, okay, wow, we've got the new stadium. Don't forget, if they refurbish Old Trafford and make it the way fans want it, trust me, another 5 6 years from now, fans will be crying for a new stadium because, like a lot of people have said, the structure, the, str- the structure can actually not hold, and it can actually would expire soon, right? So it would expire soon. Why just do the field? Why just try to paint it, or trying to reinforce some steels as to spend all of that money? He said about £1 billion to do that. Why don't just add another extra or maybe 1.5 to build a brand new stadium? That's
Yo,
my
that's
thought, though. A lot of
that's the
people will
plan for them,
disagree. That's my
basically.
thought, though.
See, I'd look at Everton, right, when it comes to they're building a new stadium right now. Like, they're leaving their stadium, they're leaving Goodison Park, aren't they, to go get their new stadium. Is it Goodison they play at?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're leaving Goodison Park to go get a new stadium, right? Their new stadium is going to increase their capacity. It's going to increase their fans' ability to see the stadium, like see the pitch and actually see stuff around the grounds. And it's also going to increase their capacity, increasing their money, right? Your Old Trafford right now, we hold 74,000 people. On match days, it gets 73,000 people at a minimum. If we go up to 90,000 or 100,000, we're going to get at least 90,000 people in there each time. And it's not only just because we're the biggest club on earth, it's also because we're going to be the biggest spectacle in the north. We're going to be the new biggest thing. And sure, building a new stadium might not be on everyone's list of things to do, like rebuilding the stadium might be up there, but to rebuild it, it's going to be a bigger financial thing. It's going to be a bigger financial input because we're going to have to build around a new railway line that runs around alongside Old Trafford. I'm not sure if any of you have ever seen like a map of Old Trafford from overhead. Like, there's a railway line there, so you'd have to build an entire thing over that, so that we can build a new stand and support it. Like, there's been history inside Old Trafford, sure, that's amazing history in that, but we need to look at it and be like, history isn't made because you stay where you are. History is made by going somewhere new. Do you think Christopher Columbus would have made history by discovering the Americas if he stayed in Spain? Or do you think he would have gone to the Americas and made history? It's not staying where you are that helps make history. It's moving and doing something new that will make history for the club. And I feel like it needs to be moving, not just away from Old Trafford, getting rid of Old Trafford. No, it's about rebuilding a new stadium. Not rebuilding, building a new stadium that will expand Manchester United's brand and also expand Manchester United's ability to grow as a club. And I don't even say knock down Old Trafford completely. We could just I don't want to say semi knock down it, but scale it down a bit make it into a partial, like a bigger museum than what it is, and also make it into either a youth setup stadium or the women's stadium. Because then we'd have a women's stadium and a men's stadium right next to each other, and we'd also have the museum right around the corner from the new stadium.
Let me just add something to that, right? For me, when Connor talked about history, right, the stadium did not make the history. It was the players, the great players that made the stadium that historical, right? Because if we didn't have the players, if we didn't have those success, right, that stadium is just more like an empty ground. You know what I mean, right? I'm not saying that, I'm not discrediting Old Trafford. No, not at all. I'm just saying, you know how they say it's not the shirt that wears you, it is you who wear the shirt. So it's whatever.
100%.
So it's, for me, I feel like, I know it's a community club, it's a family club, but family should come together and realize, okay, we need a bigger setting, right? It's the home. The home. How do I say it? It's the home is the people, not actually the building.
It's the best way I can
You
sort of
understand?
describe it is you have a family of 10, but you all have a dinner table that seats 5.
Mm-hmm.
You've not got enough space for everyone at the dinner table, so you either have to you either have to lose some family members or get a bigger dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't losing family members anytime soon. I don't
Guys,
care where we've played for 2 years. We should knock down half of Old Trafford and rebuild it, kind of like what Tottenham.
But
hear this, right?
Joe,
Before
yeah,
you
I
go to
think Mark
Joe
has some-
Drex,
no,
I just wanted
I
to
think you
answer
have something-
mental
yeah,
ball
yeah.
game question before you go to Joe Drex. 1 second.
Okay.
Right? Because I wanted to show him this. Because I don't know if he's seen this before.
Make it big.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the prospected construction plan for Old Trafford. So I noticed he said in your last comment that we're gonna have to worry about revenue while we play at the new stadium. We build the new stadium, but that's not gonna be the case because as you can see, they plan to build Old Trafford literally 50 feet from where the stadium currently is. And when they start construction, they won't have to stop playing at the stadium. Of course, it's going to have some difficulty accessing that quadrant of the stadium from that where you're seeing this big yellow circle here, because that's where the new stadium is going. But this stadium will not be made smaller until the new stadium is finished. So therefore, we would still be playing at Old Trafford while the new stadium is being built, so that it would not be a factor in terms of revenue. And this is why I agree. Build the new stadium and then, make the Old Trafford stadium smaller. And that way you could keep some of the bits of it so that it could have that history, if you want to have that history.
My mental ball game was talking about building it around the same site. But I don't think if they want to expand this where we are currently, it's going to work because the railway line, isn't that the railway line right behind it?
No,
right
the
there?
railway line, let me move Joe Blackman comment. 1 second, bro. The railway line is actually here.
Yeah, you can see the railway line. Like
this section here that you're seeing here is parking space.
See where it says the new stadium, where it says the text for the new stadium?
Yeah,
that's where the railway is.
You go down under that. That's somewhat where it is.
There's no way you could expand it and go into that place. So rather,
that's not a railway.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Jax.
Above the
railway, the reason why we can't expand the old stadium, current Old Trafford, is because this is the railway here.
Look where it says the second smaller stadium. Look under that text bubble there.
Yeah.
If you look
see under the text bubble, right at the edge of the stadium,
line.
That is the railway line. If you look at where the new stadium is, it's over. We own this space here. You see all the space that you're seeing above new stadium, the head on new stadium, all that space there is owned by Manchester United. Okay. That's car parking and stuff like that at Old Trafford. So when we build in this stadium, it's not going to have any issues because we don't have to move anywhere. We'll continue to play football
but mental ball
at
game
Old Trafford.
But mental ball game is saying he wants. That's what I'm trying to say. Mental ball game is saying he wants the new stadium to be built on the same site, and I'm saying, is it possible? Because we're looking at this where we at the moment. If we have to expand it, wouldn't that be encroaching?
We're
into
not
the
expanding.
railway?
What are you talking about?
Like if you want to increase the capacity,
we're not expanding Old Trafford, bro. We're building a brand new stadium with a bigger capacity.
I was trying to bring. See, this guy said this, right? mental ball game saying no. I
Right,
was
but
talking about
but
building.
what he was saying is he thought they was building it on the same site where the current Old Trafford is, not
Oh, okay.
not
Okay.
here. The new stadium is going on going where they see new stadium. Old Trafford is going to
Yeah.
be shrunk into a size that will fit. I think it's
The academy.
27,000 for the
All right.
youth team and the women's team
Women.
to play.
All right. All right. No, I've heard that before. So I'm just
It's all good
trying.
mental ball game, bro. No
I'm just
worries
trying
about
to
it, you know.
bring a mental balls games initial
Oh
concern
yeah,
into the
I
fray.
understood what he was saying because he. Oh, no worries, bro. No worries, bro. It's all good. It's all good, my bro. It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing a stream in the morning, so if you want to join, it's all good, bro. Big up to you.
Right.
I understood what he was saying, Drex. You know, he think it was being built where Old Trafford currently is. He thought it was going to be expansion.
Oh, okay.
What Sir Jim does not want to do is expand the stadium, and this is what he was trying to come out. He was trying to say, listen, you're going to build a new stadium. While we build the stadium, it's not going to affect people going to Old Trafford. And when we build the new stadium, you're not changing the location in which you're traveling, but you will be coming to a more dynamic, more state-of-the-art facility. Not only that, but the prospective, construction around the stadium is gonna be like, like, you ever been to Universal Studios, bro?
No, not yet.
I used to work at Universal Studios like on the summer and thing when I was going to school in Florida. So Universal Studios is basically, I'm gonna drop the link again, Joe. I'm not sure why you wasn't able to get in though, bro. Universal Studios basically is built something like this, right? There's two kind of arena size locations, and then they have like small warehouses all about the thing, but it's a giant park. So you could go and do all this stuff and all those things at the same time. And you could build around Old Trafford and develop it so that it's like basically gonna be like a football theme park where the jewel is actually the big stadium, but there's also things that happening all around all day. Like it have shopping facilities, not where you could buy different sportswear, different stuff. It have a cinema theater, it have a place that you could go and watch a concert, all these kind of things.
100.
Probably even have a go-kart park where you could race and stuff around Old Trafford or something like that. Probably gonna have all that nonsense. You know what I mean? See Connor sharing something here. So basically it's the same picture I have, but his one is more detailed. So you could get a clear view of where the
Oh yeah, that's where the railway line is. Yeah.
make it massive there, Connor, if you could. Just zoom that spot right all the way out.
Or more like click it. Connor is saying something, but we can't hear him. Connor, you have to unmute.
He's still mute.
Because I'm sharing my screen, it put me on mute.
Oh.
Yeah, no. No, what's it called?
Can you make it bigger? Can you just click on that image and it's gonna make it? See if you can make it.
Yeah,
bigger.
no. Let me see if I can do this. Open image in new tab. Yeah. Let me just, what's it called? Stop. I'll just reshare my screen quickly. There.
Big up.
For me, I don't really mind if it looks like the Old Trafford. I just feel like I know we are attached to what we have now, right? But in a give it a year or two and with success, people are gonna be loving the new one. That's how it is in life.
But my issue with it, like, we're seeing how close Old Trafford is to it, but just imagine you cut that part in half. That part's going to be gone. We're moving that part of the stadium over that way a bit, and we're going to be not increasing the capacity of the new one. We're going to be decreasing Old Trafford to support youth and women's football, whilst keeping it close to home and keeping Old Trafford still alive, kind of, but just not for the men's team anymore. Because you can see here, you can see where the railway runs.
Yeah.
It runs all the way along the back of that there. And sure, it might split off there, but it's not going to affect Old Trafford's new stadium there, is it?
New stadium, yeah.
That's the issue we're having with that.
No, I don't have a... See, Mark
that's
the
issue. No. I'm not saying we're having an issue. I'm saying that's the issue with redeveloping the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
The issue we're having with redevelopment is because of that being there.
Yeah, I get you. I like me. I've always want. not like I've always wanted a new stadium. The minute I was brought to this, the minute this was shown to me, I'm like, okay, the reason why we cannot expand this is because the logistics that has to be done with the railway line and all. I was like, you know what? Why go through that headache about when you have your own land where you just have to build something new and it's not going to encroach on anything? Might as well just do it. It's just for fans. It's going to take a while to actually adjust to the new. It's always that's how it is with life. You find it harder to move away from what you used to, but the minute you get to something new and you're flourishing in it, all of a sudden you're loving it. So
Yeah. But boys, I'm gonna
your
get
box.
going
I'm
now
with
for
box on
tonight.
this one.
Big up, Cutter. Big up,
Yeah,
Connor.
boys,
And
I'm
I'm with
going.
Box on this one too. We're going to close out the stream in like 5 minutes, bro. So thanks
Yeah.
for being here, bro. I know it was a
It's
long
been fun.
one.
I'll see you all in a bit.
Yeah, bro. Catch you tomorrow if you want to be here. I got another stream on Thursday. So if you guys want to come through, I'm going to be doing another transfer market. Well, this one is going to be at night. So if anybody wants to come in, we're going to be talking player transfers and stuff. Big up to you, Connor. Thanks for coming through, bro.
See you all in a bit. See you later.
Yo, Shay.
Yeah.
We're talking lots about the stadium, but I wanted to talk to you about Arsenal, what I mean? Even our new owner, the minority owner talking about Arsenal, what I mean? As a true fan would, in the manner of a true fan, he didn't say that he wanted Arsenal to win, but he did say that it would be a good thing for your manager, Arteta, and then it was also good that Arsenal was having patience with him. You know what I mean? I think it was good. I mean? Like in this new modern time, a lot of football minds and a lot of fans, they don't really have that patience. They feel like, success must be now. And after going through 4 years, and I think the first 2.5 was very tough on you guys. I remember you all being Arteta out up to when? November 2022. You know what I mean? And then January 23, you all was at the top of the league. Of course, we know the result of that. You all ended up finishing second. But you know what, Shay? I feel like this season you all are doing a lot better. And as much as I would like to say that, big up to you, Stu. Yo, Stu, I drop the comments in the link if you want to come in and have your say. We were just talking about, the clips from Sir Jim Ratcliffe's interview with, Gerard, the cycling expert. And it was pretty interesting the way he was, candid and how he presented himself. And I pretty much like the swagger and the way he answers his questions. But yeah, Shay, give you a little vibes on how you feel about Arteta after spending, the last 4 years with Arteta and how it, how it pan out to now.
If we beat Man City at at the Etihad, I will be shocked. We got them next.
No, but I hear Erling Haaland is out of the Norway squad. I think he pulled out the Norway squad. I read that somewhere today. I can't remember where, but
Yeah.
So you
And
guys might just be making it easier for you guys. What do you think?
Yeah, like Saka's in the England squad, I believe.
Yeah.
Saka, Ramsdale, Ben White drops out. Have you heard that Ben?
Mark, I don't know why I just feel like Arsenal might not win it because they might just do an Arsenal and just lose. I don't like using the word bottle, but they might just lose 2 games that we all think that they wouldn't lose, or maybe draw a couple of games and someone like Newcastle
Well, they have CL midweek coming up as well, and so it's gonna be a tough last go for them because they'll have the CL. We know they're not in the FA Cup, but the CL is going to be the week. And just like them, Man City has CL, but Man City also has the FA Cup to worry about. So in a way, it's going to be, for me, it's going to be a roller coaster. And like Kenny is saying, you know what I mean? This is Arsenal best, like Mental Ball Game said, is Arsenal best chance to win. Kenny's asking if you think you're going to beat Bayern in the CL. I am also thinking about that because you know what? Bayern has that history, and as much as they're not performing well, I still feel like it's going to be a definite, humongous task to go to the Allianz Arena and come home with a victory.
Yeah, if Kivior don't start, if Shichenko come back, Kivior's not very good against Bayern Munich. If we play Bayern Munich.
Pick up yourself, Yali. I think Yali is saying Haaland is still in the squad. Oh yeah. But I read earlier today that he pulled up, so I wasn't too sure about that report. So yeah, big up yourself, Yali.
Mental
feel
ball
like
game is saying the only thing is that Arsenal is a team not experienced in Europe, and that's
yeah,
100% true. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
For me, I feel like Arsenal would win one, Bayern would win one. Now it's gonna be on aggregate who scores the most. It's gonna be a
Mm.
case of who scores the most. So it could be if Arsenal at home could do maybe a 3-1, or if I don't see them scoring, they might score four because these days they score for fun. So they might just get if they can outscore Bayern, then they might just go through. But
hundred
you,
percent.
yeah, don't forget Tuchel. I've been opportune to play Arteta in the past. I believe yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Harry Kane as well. So they have a few. They have like somewhat at least two persons, or if not three, that have
Eric
an
Dyer,
insight on what. Yeah, yeah,
Sane,
and yeah, that have an insight of what Arsenal can do. So
Serge Gnabry.
maybe it might just be Bayern might just be too strong on the ninth for Arsenal, but I have this weird feeling that Arsenal would just take the home. Bayern would take then when Arsenal goes to Germany, Bayern takes that, and it's a case of who scored more. So
100%. And mental ball game is coming in here with a shout. Imagine Kane knocking Arsenal out. Like, and to be fair, guys, as much as I say Arsenal don't have that European pedigree and they don't have that experience, I think I remember saying that Arsenal was in such great form in the last
Mm.
games that it's hard really to say that, Bayern will beat them in the Emirates. For me, the only biggest problem for Arsenal is how they're going to deal with Bayern in the Allianz Arena, because Bayern at home is a fortress. Trust me. Even if you might not be a German team, but you're coming from outside, so definitely everybody going to be up for it. It's a huge arena, and it's really tough to play there. You know what I mean? The fans is really do all what they do. So I won't say that Arsenal don't have a chance. I think they might do a good job at the Emirates. I'm worried about the game, the return leg, which is the last game, which is against Bayern away. Shay, don't be too despondent, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as a fan, I would never say I hope you all win the league, but I definitely don't want to see Manchester City or Liverpool lift the cup.
Yeah.
So you can understand the answer from there. Big up to
Give
you,
you.
Drex. I know I have you a long time. I know you had to go back to Baby Girl in a little bit. So, guys, I would like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Big up to all of you. I hope you guys, had a chance to, leave a comment. Let us know how you felt about, the information that we provided tonight. I was just wanted to bring to everyone who hasn't seen the Sir Jim Ratcliffe interview, bring you some bits and information, which I think was mostly important and more notable towards Manchester United fans, so that you guys can not only see a bit of Jim Ratcliffe, but maybe come to an understanding of his character. Because at the end of the day, he is the new owner of Manchester United. And bro,
yeah,
like as much
Mark,
as you might not
Mark,
like him or much as you might
sorry
like
to
him,
cut you.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you. He said something during the question about the stadium. He made mention of I want to build a new stadium, right? Then quickly went under the radar like that. That he just said that quickly. I'm like, when I heard that, I'm like, yo, he said something about I, not we, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Because,
like,
see,
this guy, do you have plans for another 18, 20, 24 months that we don't know about?
listen, I'm gonna tell you
I just
something,
want to
right?
wake up one morning and I heard maybe David Ornstein or Fabrizio or Mike Keegan saying, "Oh, it's done. Glazers have signed they've signed the contract. The full ownership is with Sir Jim."
Listen,
Bro,
I think
I will
Drex,
go on. I will come on your stream and with
I'm
some.
not even thinking about that. You wanna know why? Because listen, right? For me, yeah, you see, a lot of people thinking about the black and white, and it's important to think about the black and white, which is when the Glazers go and leave, when he go and buy the club entirely. But in the little spectrum area in between, people, I feel like as fans, we should pay attention to more what the benefits are coming. You know what I mean? What is impacting, what is changing, how it's changing, and how it's working. You know what I mean? And when you look at the people best in class, you hear him talk about getting the right people in the right squares. Then you hear him talking about it's a process, it's a development. You have to understand that this is a multi-layered and multifaceted plan. And the funny bit for me is being someone who was not pro Sir Jim, and now looking and listening and observing the new owner, part owner, and what he's doing, and looking at it from just from my perspective side, and saying, what, I'm waiting to see how it impacts the club, how it works. The time scale for me is 18 months. Let's see if we go on a drastic upward trajectory and see how that works. But the more and more I hear him do interviews and I hear him speak in different settings, like that for me was a very casual, comfortable kind of conversation, not that formal. You know what I mean? He was able to be a little bit candid and open, and little light jokes here and there. You know what I mean? Showing a little bit of his personality in himself, but staying true to what he believed in. And if you listen to his comments and the way he said certain things, you could gather a little bit from this man that he knows football. He has a good idea of what football is. When he talks about certain players, I mean, I feel like I was hearing myself talk about those players, because I probably would have said the same things. And I kind of find myself enjoying his ideology, what he is selling to everyone right now. I think, it's not that bad. I'm not trying to sound too pro Jim, because at the end of the day, I'm still observing, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. His idea and the ideology behind, the future of football, and what he wants to do with the stadium, and why he wants to build a new stadium. The only thing I would say is he definitely need to make it 140K, because I want a cheaper season ticket, and if it's 140K, that's double the current capacity. So therefore, season ticket prices could probably drop 25%. That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, guys, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe is starting to show his confidence, show his personality, show who he is, and I'm starting to get the idea that is going to filter down into United in a positive way. It's going to give us a boost, because he's an owner that not just, a billionaire. He's a football man, and you could hear it from the way he speaks. And I think it will impact positively, because the decisions he's making, I just have the idea he's going to empower all these guys coming in to do their job to the best of their ability. Because his long-term vision is for long-term success, not for success in the short term. And anyone like that, they definitely will be successful, in my opinion, because, he's prepared to make the losses now to gain in the future. And that is what United should be. And you hear him talk about the moments where he said Arsenal was patient with Arteta. He said, it's a long process. There's a road still to be traveled. It's not going to be like a light switch. He said we're not going to buy players like a Kylian Mbappe. That's not creative. We're going to get some players that are going to probably be the next Kylian Mbappe, or maybe the next Jude Bellingham. So that probably says, he might not be buying the expensive players, but he will be trying to get the top talent for as an efficient and effective and a cost-effective cost as possible. And I'm liking what I'm hearing. Drex, what do you have to say, bro?
You know me. I've said the thing, like when I heard him talk about that, I already knew that this guy, this guy has a vision in his. When I hear people talk, sometimes not just talking to please fans, but talking because he have a vision, right? So this guy has a vision, and we are just all I just say, we just wait and just see if the vision he could actually bring it from the dark of his mind onto the bright of the manifestation of what he has in his mind. So yeah, we just have to wait. And like you said, I like what I'm hearing. I like what he's talking about. I just want the people. See, I'm not even worried about. I'm not even looking forward to this summer transfer window. I do. I won't kid you. I'm actually looking forward to summer transfer window of 2025, because for me this one it's more like yeah or there, But that one in 25, we already have the people. They already gone through, maybe, yeah, one can actually say if a whole year of knowing what's happening, what the problem might have been. They've actually been in office to actually see the thing from the inside out to actually from the outside. So by come 2025 summer, then yeah, that's the one I'll be excited about the most. That's the one I'll be looking forward to the most, because at that point I know that they would have had a lot of experience, a lot of knowings of what's happening in United for the past 10, 13 years, and they would know how to dress it. So I'm happy. Can just wait for the best in class to actually start. But yeah, it's something that would come, and it's something we as fans have been crying for. We've been screaming for. If only the Glazers knew what they were doing, they just I'll tell you something for free. I wanted to say it earlier. The likes of Ed Woodward, right, knowing fully well that Mbappe was available, would have done all he could to go for that for Mbappe. And you and I know Woodward would have done that. You and I know Woodward is as quote and unquote crazy like that to actually do that. Big up yourself, Stephanie. Um, the one I call the MVP. Yeah. Yeah. So
Big up, Steph.
for me, I like what this guy is saying. Um, like right now, you and I, most people that know us from the group we are in, they know that okay, we are not the pro gym kind of person. We are just looking at him with one of the eyes shut, and but now he's talking. Now we have to pay attention. Like I've always said, you don't just believe people blindly. You can actually have something to hold, which is for me, Sir Jim is talking and I have to hold him to his words, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, if he's not doing what he's saying he will do, therefore means there's something to hold on to. So at the moment, yeah, I just have to listen to the guy and hope that the lines fall in pleasant places for him and the club, and they just get what they need to do.
100%. 14 likes, says the MVP of the Man United YouTube space, Stephanie G. Big up to you. Hope you're having a good night. And I will see you in the morning because the stream is at the end. Big up to all the panelists. Big up to Mr. Bond. Big up to Connor coming through. Big up to Joe Blackman, only he didn't get through. I saw him pop in right as I was bringing him to the stage. He dipped out. Big up to you, Almel Drex, my buddy in crime. We always stream together. You know what it is, my bro. And Stephanie, you're right. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is making the right noises, and I'm liking what I'm hearing, and I'm liking the decisions that he's been making, and I'm looking forward to see what else he's gonna do because you know what? I think he's making the right decisions, and I think I'm not gonna have to be too worried. I think he has the right character, and it's the same reason why I back Eric Ten Hag, because I feel like Eric Ten Hag character reminds me of what it means to be a United fan, and the things that I think together with the new structure they're gonna do something great. It might be a while, but let's sit down, strap in, and see how the ride goes. Because you know what? You could never predict football. Progress is never linear. It's always up and down. It happens. This is sports, and it's a competitive game, and it's the top league in world football. It's the Premier League. It's going to be a big one, guys. And you know what? All this talk about Gareth Southgate is just the media trying to cut us at our knees as they usually try to do with their manager out agenda, which they started in September. Guys, never forget the media said to Ten Hag, we need you to fail so we can print stories. These guys hate us. You know what I mean? They grew up all their lives on their knees because they were unlucky enough to start supporting the wrong football
My
clubs.
my, my
So
take
now
is
they cry
my
in their
take is
cars.
we the Liverpool because I think they were hoping to get a lot of stuff. They were hoping that United were going to lose to Liverpool, right? And they had a lot of drafts ready. And the minute we won, they were like, "Oh damn!" So we can't really do anything on the Monday because they will just see us coming from a mile away, right? The fans will see us coming from a mile away. So they let Monday pass, and they're like, these guys are still basking in that victory. So how do we dampen the mood? And someone just decided, what, oh, let them have. That's too theory though. The first one is what I'm saying. Let them have this news, and let's dampen the mood a bit. Let's see if a lot of them would buy it, right? And I actually saw a lot of people actually retweeting. I'm like, yo, man, you guys are just spreading this thing, and it's just gonna make a lot of United fans that are already on the edge, right, just fall over. Some of them might just fall over and just be angry. Haven't won Liverpool and still like in that victory mode, and you're giving them something like this. It's just gonna make them angry and just forget about that and start going on the manager and all of that. But that's one theory. The other theory I have is, could it be that maybe someone from the inner circle said, okay, look, we want to keep Eric Ten Hag, but let's hear what the fans is going to say if we push out several of these imagine it with the other time it was. Remember, it was Thomas Frank, De Zerbi, and Southgate, and a lot of people actually crashed that down. Now
Yeah,
it's
because you
coming
know
to
what?
say,
They all shit managers in comparison.
oh
Let's
man,
not even.
how do you get Thomas Frank to want to manage United?
Well, I don't know, but you know, like I'll be real. I don't want to disrespect Thomas Frank because there's one or two Norwegian guys that just swapped allegiances to play for Trinidad and Tobago. So I won't be disrespecting the Norwegians. You know, I'll give them full respect. Mental. I'm Trini, bro. I'm always up for the late night. You know what I mean? The problem is usually getting in on time to start the streams on time because, as you know, guys, my stream was set for 11:15, but we started at 11:25, so I was like 10 minutes late. You know, I apologize for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream though, and like Kenny Fan TV saying, the agendas must agenda. But you know what, fans? Here's what, guys. You know what you have to do. Don't listen to the media. Flip them some birds. Don't retweet their tweets because you know what? We paying their checks. And they could only cash them checks because there's Manchester United. So at any given time, they must write about us because we are the news. You know what I mean? They just write it. So guys, thank you for joining me. I'm about to go get some night sleep. Big up to my buddy Drex. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV, coming in. I dropped the link many times, but maybe you're busy at work. I know it's morning right now in Australia, down under, my Aussie brother. I hope you're having a good day. I will see you later. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffith. Mental Ball Game, thank you so much for joining me, bro. I'm having a stream in the morning, so if you have the time, pop in. You know what it is. And big up to Yali with the stats. Sir Jim in 2016 had about 16 billion to his name. 8 years later, he almost doubled his fortune. Jim is a very serious guy. Let's see what happens in the next 2-3 years. I like that. This is what we are doing right now. Yali, Statman, thank you so much. Hope you have a good night. Cheers to you, Melton Board Game. The mischief makers do one. Yeah, they're gonna do one. Same time, my bro. Same time. Definitely at 9:30 UK. You will see me there. Big up to everyone coming in. Drexy, my bro. Thanks so much. Have a good night to you, my bro. And I hope everyone enjoys their night. Get some rest. We'll see you all tomorrow. Turn on that notification bell. Smash the likes on your way out. And if you are watching this on Twitter, don't forget to give it a share around, a retweet, and a like. Leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Critiques if you like. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you Ten Hag in? Are you Sir Jim in? Or are you Manchester United in? Have a good night, everyone. It's been your boy, MarkN, MUFC Fan.
Oh.